Welcome to Mornings with Rebecca and Burns Overtime on Facebook. And this has been a pretty special week, Rebecca. We're still doing the social distancing thing. We're in separate rooms. And Jay Allen's like off in his own little world. Anyway,
All the way in the back.
all the way in the back. But anyway,
here.
this has been a very special week. It's been National Teacher Appreciation Week.
Yes, it has. And we had a little something happen with our teachers at Lamar Middle School yesterday. The 8th grade teachers put together this little video montage of all of them, just letting the students know how much they'll miss them and how excited they are as they start their high school journey. And I got to tell you, my daughter was in tears. And I don't cry easily. Sometimes I feel like that's a flaw, but man, I had the mom lump. I mean, like lodged right there. I had the mom lump. And we talked about this actually quite a bit on the morning show today. Teachers, if you weren't appreciated before, you are now.
Yeah, absolutely. And we also talked a little bit about how teachers are going through a tough time at the end of the school year too. This is something they look forward to for the past 9 months, and they're not getting the opportunity to love on their students. They're not getting ready. They're not getting the opportunity to write in the yearbooks how much they've enjoyed being that student's teacher. They're not getting the opportunity to maybe chaperone that dance that the kids are missing. They're missing out on a lot as well, going through a tough time. But we also talked about you, if you're a teacher, everything we've heard, you are knocking it out of the park.
Well, we talked to, shameless plug, get ready, on the Honest Conversations podcast, where we look at tough topics through a biblical lens. Me and my co-host Liz Rod on the pod. Meet our awesome producer back there, Jay Allen. We talked to Jill Miller, who was my son's 4th grade teacher, but she's also the founder of a ministry called Teacher Be Still. You really need to check out her website. And she was talking about the strain that this has put on the teachers and all the different hats they're wearing and how they're having to go from hands-on teaching, classroom style, everything moves online. And on top of that, they may be trying to teach their own kids. They may be, running the household as well, sharing office space with their spouse who's also working from home. So we just want to recognize how you go more than the extra mile, you go the extra 10. And like we said before, I've always appreciated teachers, but if you weren't appreciated before, you sure are now.
Hey, Rebecca, do you have 1 or 2 teachers that really stood out when you were going to school that you're like going, they really helped me in my life?
Yeah, we've even interviewed him on the morning show. His name was Mr. Lease, Coach Lease, and he was my senior year of high school. He was our track coach, and he also was my phys ed teacher for strength and conditioning because, I'm tough like that. And he made such a right. He made such a difference in my life. He really changed the trajectory of my life when I was 17 years old. And I even included a chapter in my first book on him because of the difference he had made. Jay Allen, what about you?
Well, we've actually interviewed him as well. It was a coach of mine in baseball.
Remember.
Yeah, his name was Coach Boring. He was a Christian leader in the classroom. He's now principal of a middle school. So he's obviously
the Birdville ISD, right? Birdville ISD, right?
No, Princeton. It was
Never
Princeton
mind.
ISD.
My bad.
What coach were you talking about?
No.
Yeah, but he was a great leader for me, just a great role model. Of course, people know my story. I didn't have a father, so he kind of played a really good role model role for me at a really critical age. And so just really communicated what faith looked like in the workplace and set a lot of foundations for me.
How about you, Don?
I have 2, and they're on the different end. One of them, I got an A in the class, a very high A in the class, and the other one, I barely passed. Okay. And I'm going to start with the one where I barely passed. Both of these were at Brownwood High School. I went to 14 different schools, but the last 2 years, I went to Brownwood High School, Brownwood, Texas, and my 11th grade English teacher, which I didn't enjoy English class at all, but her name was Mrs. Cantu. And I tell you what, I passed barely in that class, but let me tell you, she taught me more in that English class, or maybe I learned more because of where I was more in that English class and all the other ones combined. And she taught me things that I'm still using today. And I just love the patience and the kindness that she showed to me that entire year. At the time, I didn't enjoy it, but soon as I was done, I'm like going, wow, I learned a lot. I like that class. And then my other one was my government teacher, my senior year of high school, Mr. Ripley, who taught me that it's good to have an argument with the other side, whether you're left or you're right. It's good to have an argument, not to be angry and to be mean, but to understand a different perspective from what you already have. And Mr. Ripley and I, as far as I know, he was one political party and I was the other, but he just talked to me and he shared me why he felt like he did. And I got to share why I felt like I did. And I ended up getting an A in the class. And I just really enjoyed learning from his perspective. So Mr. Ripley, government teacher, Mrs. Cantu, English teacher, you guys worked with this guy right here, and I was not the best student, but you did a great job. And I just want to say thank you. If you're still teaching, I don't even know, but you did a great job. Thank you.
And if you are a teacher, please know that we love you, we pray for you, and we are so grateful for you. Happy Teacher Appreciation Week.